on the next left. Well, I don't know if our subscribers care about what's going through my mind at various parts of the flight.
Oh no, but that's good information to give.
Not like a 172 or something, or a Cherokee where you just top off the fuel or fill it to the tab and don't worry about it. Billy Free, municipal traffic, Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha, back taxi, runway 36. Degrees, not even noon. Walk up quick. Free municipal traffic, Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha, departing runway 36, be a left turn to the west after departure. Billy Free municipal traffic. Back down to Texarkana. Should be about a 45-minute flight or so once we go good. I got an IFR file just to get us into Texarkana a little easier. Memphis Center, Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha. Center, Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha.
40 Charlie Alpha, go.
Yes sir, 40 Charlie Alpha. We're airborne off of 0 Mike 0. That's Billy Free Municipal, currently about 10 miles north of Monticello, looking for an IFR to Texarkana.
40 Charlie Alpha, squawk 0717.
0717, 0 Charlie Alpha.
96 Charlie Romeo, contact approach 119.1. 40 40 Charlie Alpha, try to contact 7 miles west of Dumas. 3100 cleared to Texarkana, file, maintain 6000, altimeter 3001.
40 Charlie Alpha is cleared to Texarkana as filed, leaving 3,300 for 6,000, 3001 on the altimeter, 0 Charlie Alpha. Maybe at 6,000 be a little cooler.
Temperatures keeps dropping.
Hot, just hazy.
For 2430, Quebec, contact Little Rock Road 119.85.
And it is.
1,000 feet to go.
For A4 Juliet Lima, contact 4 Center 126.32.
Sure doesn't feel like cool air coming in there.
A4 Juliet Lima.
Level off, get things leaned out. 8 for 695.
What's 53695?
43695 and we're PA-28 4.
695, Roger, green, altimeter 3000.
Burn on the outboards for a little bit. Minutes, should be on the ground. Got a bunch of weather over Houston today, that tropical storm sitting there. But we're north of all that, should be okay for our flight this afternoon, I hope. At least that's what the forecast is showing. I guess I can go ahead and put that in my GPS.
Hello, 40 Charlie Alpha, descend at pilot's discretion, maintains 3000.
Pilot's discretion at 3000, 40 Charlie Alpha, thank you. So I enter in the new altitude, hit arm, that takes off altitude capture, and now we just dial in the descent rate we want manually on the autopilot panel.
About 50 feet per punch.
Something like that, I don't really know. I just half a dozen times seem to take care of it initially, and then I ask some more. And right now we're showing we need a vertical speed of about 440 feet a minute to get us 1,000 feet above the airport, 4 miles out. Seems to work out pretty good. Mood there, so for right now I'll leave the power in. Keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't creep up during our descent. Sometimes just the change in airspeed will ram a little more air into the turbo, the intakes, and get a little more manifold pressure. Then I keep an eye on fuel flows and TITs, kind of keep them the same as they were in cruise. So that way our cylinders don't cool down any at all, really. And then now we can go ahead and get set up for landing. We got ATIS already, so we'll switch this over to ground control. So I got that plugged in there. And tower is 123.875, so we'll have that ready to flip-flop in. Try to stay ahead of the airplane as much as I can. So once I start initial descent, I look at my vertical speed, see if that number's changing or not. Just adjust a little bit if I need to. Keeping in mind that we're going to slow down as we get lower. And we switched at 33, so I'll see if I can get this to go at 53. I want to be 20 gallons out of our outboards. Try to keep the math as simple as possible.
Definitely got to manage fuel on this plane.
You know, I know 2 legs from now I'll be landing in a short field, so I need to make sure I want to have enough fuel for reserve for hours, more than an hour reserve, but we don't want to be landing with 600 pounds of fuel in the tanks. So starting at, 2-3 legs ahead of time. And of course fuel is more expensive here than it will be our next leg, so I'm going to put a minimum on here that we need, make sure we'll still have plenty of extra reserve, but I just top off the inboards here. That's going to leave us with, 56 gallons in the outboards, plus 107, so we'll be 160 gallons or so. And all we need is 110. So we'll have an hour and a half plus reserve.
High class with CA.
Well, I don't know if our subscribers care about what's going through my mind in various parts of the flight.
Oh, no, but that's good information to give.
Not like a 172 or something, or a Cherokee, where you just top off the fuel or fill it to the tab and don't worry about it. Not to mention, hauling around extra weight means the plane goes slower. You can definitely tell a difference. We can gain a few knots over the course of a long flight just from burning off fuel. Wear and tear in landing gear.
Especially when this guy carries a lot of fuel.
And then, of course, there's no reason, you know, you only want a bunch of fuel when you when you need it, but the rest of the time you don't want it. Have an engine out, it'd be better to have the plane as light as we can get away with, so. But, we gotta make sure we have a reserve.
Yep.
And the nice thing is about these piston engines is that you can really choke them back and slow way down if you did need a longer reserve. We can almost cut our fuel consumption in half from our normal cruise just by pulling the power way back and loiter for a long time if we need to on a minimal amount of fuel.
Yep. Sure can.
Can't do that in a turbine.
But you can also find a lot of places to land usually.
But I've never really put you in a situation where we, you know, had zero visibility, 0, you know, and had to wait out fog lifting or something like that. But that's where you can get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because you may have to go a couple hundred miles to find an airport.
That's true.
Or you may have to wait for a couple hours for the fog to clear.
No, we've been pretty fortunate with all our flying. Even though we do go into some IFR situations, we've always, knock on wood, we've always been able to land at our destination on time.
That won't always be the case, but I try to do flight plan that stuff ahead of time as best we can. But now we're, you know, we're 6 minutes out. I'm going to start pulling power out about 1 inch a minute or so, down to 25 inches, which will be our pattern power setting. And then in another gallon or so, I'll change fuel tanks.
Bravo 40 Charlie Alpha, descend and maintain 2,000, advise Texarkana Airport in sight.
Down to 2,000, give us just another minute or two, we'll let you know, 40 Charlie Alpha. Alright, we're crabbing a little bit this way. I believe that's the field up there, that open area. And Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha, we have the field in sight now, sir.
Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha, cleared visual approach, runway 13, Texarkana Airport. Radio services terminated, contact tower 123.87, so long.
Cleared for the visual, runway 13, we're over to tower 123.87, appreciate it, 40 Charlie Alpha. Pattern altitude is 1,500 feet, let's call it 1,600. Hello, Texarkana Tower, Piper Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha is about 16 miles east, inbound of the visual, runway 13.
And Navajo 40 Charlie Alpha, Texarkana Tower, good afternoon. Report a correction. You can proceed direct to and report left base to runway 13.
Direct to and report left base, runway 13, 40 Charlie Alpha, thank you. Alright, fuel pumps on. Over to the import tanks. Turn the fuel pumps off for now. And we burn 20 gallons out of the outboard.
And Navajo 0 Charlie Alpha, got you inside runway 13, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 13, 40 Charlie Alpha.
And when that correction 140 at 9er, gusting 16.
Thank you, sir. A little breezy on the ground. Alright, autopilot's off. Gear's coming down. 3 green lights, 1 in the mirror. Panels return neutral. 15 degrees of flaps. Mixture's rich. Fuel pumps on. Lights are on.
Navajo 0 Charlie Alpha speed ready, turn right on Charlie 1, then right on Charlie, cross runway 422, and then it'll be a left on Alpha.
Right on Charlie 1, right on Charlie, cross the runway 422, and then I believe it was left on Alpha 40 Charlie.
0 Charlie Alpha, firm to left on Alpha and remain this frequency and depart.
Okay, we will remain this frequency, 40 Charlie, thank you.
Welcome back to Texarkana. Hope you enjoyed that little flight. Fuel management discussion. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Busy today.
Yep. A lot of stuff on the ramp.